Hello, hello. How are you all doing tonight? It's been a while since I've streamed, Jesus. What button is it? Bam! Hello, how are you all doing today, guys? Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually properly streamed, I would say. Like, ugh, it's been a while. I'm glad I'm doing it. Should be a fun little stream. Probably not going to be a long one tonight. Just going to talk about Porto, talk about the deck that I took, the matchups, and then also just talk about Porto in general, because I thought it was quite nice. So that's the plan today. I've got like my fan like blowing constantly over here because in the UK it's like 30 degrees or some shit. So not the greatest, but yeah, we move. All right. So the idea. Let me actually move this down real quick. There we go. Wow. More like in the middle. I'm a professional streamer sometimes, guys. Trust me. All right. So first thing I'm going to do tonight is talk about the deck that I took. That's not going to take that long because the deck is Phoenix, so you all know what Phoenix does, but we'll go over that very quickly. And yeah, go over the matchups. And see how the night takes us. Maybe we'll play some extra games as well. Maybe we'll talk about some of the new card reveals going on. Jesus. Maybe if I do... Hold on a sec. Is that better? Whatever. Alright. So, first thing we're going to do is, well, I hope DCG is loading. Hey! There we go. Hey, bazinga. Alright. So, let's talk about the deck that I decided to take. Which, in this case, was this Phoenix list. So, can you see everything? You can see everything. That's great. So, this list, it took a little bit of work, but I wish I'd had a little bit more time to work on it, essentially. Because I feel like there were some changes that I should have made once I was starting to play the tournament, because you have to bear in mind, like, I only had like a week to play this, so that's the context for this. Like, I had a week to learn this deck essentially and go to Porto, because originally, I don't know if I have it here, but I was thinking of taking not this list particularly, but version 4, which would have been okay. I mean, it would have been okay actually if I played against a lot of Omnimon because of Monochromon, which I saw a lot of Omnimon, which we'll talk about later. But that it has its thing going on for it. Then there was also, what was the other deck that I was thinking? I was thinking of playing the Ryugu stuff, the whales. What's happening with that card? Jesus, why is that card so low quality? Is Arimon also like that? Wow, that's weird. I don't think I've ever seen card quality that low before. Weird. Anyways, I was thinking of also playing that because when I was playtesting against Omnimon, it went pretty well. I was able to stun them out essentially and slow them down completely just due to decode. So that was cool. But this is the list I ultimately did take to Porto. So I think most of you will probably understand, like, this is a pretty bog standard list. There are some things that I would want to change in the future. So what are the key things that I wanted in my list? Well, main thing was consistency. So you'll see here that I have like 3 mem boosts, 4 offense training, just because I want to see pieces. And trust me, I wish I could see more pieces sometimes because couldn't find all my pieces sometimes, which was quite annoying to say the least. There was some bog standard list. Just checking the audio. Apologies. So that was one of the things that I wanted to focus on. So 3 men boost, 4 offense training, 3 proto forms, 3 cool boys, as much consistency I can get. So I'll just go over the list very quickly. So I got 2 Rush Gill. It didn't come up that much, only like in 1 or 2 matchups, I'd say. Or games, I should say. 4 Gill X, Search, 4 Gill, more Search, Growl X, Growl, all your bog standard cards, essentially, that you need for this deck. Then you have, like, Garuda, Garuda X. So there was 2 Garudas that I was considering in this situation. So there was obviously this Garuda, which was the EX1 one, which I think is the more popular choice, I would say. It definitely has ups, essentially, because you just get a memory, and the memory is important for Phoenix X combos. But there's also this one, which is the Star Deck one, which gives you just a secure attack +1, and gives you 2k DP for every 2 colored tamers you have, but you only have 1. The reason why I went with the EX1 one and not this one is because I felt like the extra check would actually be worse for me, which sounds counterproductive, but essentially, with how things went in the tournament and the matchups that I played, I feel like if I had secure attack +1, I would probably die on the second check. And thankfully, throughout the tournament, my Phoenix X didn't die at any point in security, but there was definitely situations where if I was to, you know, go for another security check, I open myself up to more risk. So I decided to go against that. The Alliance is nice, but you won't have anything else on the field while you're triggering the Alliance, essentially. So, yeah, not great. Then we have all the basic stuff. Phoenix X, Oriumon to play from the Phoenix X, Phoenix from BT15. This card was actually quite nice in a couple of situations. Just being able to delete one of their Digimon was quite nice, and usually with the combo of stuff, so like if I was going into Phoenix, then Phoenix X, then swing, do all the combo stuff, and I had this in my hand, it allows me to essentially help clear the board, because I'd be able to essentially delete something and then delete another thing. So that was pretty good. Medieval Gallantmon, Oriumon, Oryuken even, sorry. And then 3 Gravity Crush and 1 Scramble. And I went with this egg, the Digimon, because I just wanted the consistency. I know there's the, not Giga, Digimon. I know there's the, this one, that gets you 1k DP, and the 1k DP does matter in certain situations. Mainly for the, you know, Royal Knights, the Omnimon stuff, although it doesn't really matter for the Omnimon stuff. Just means that you can survive more checks, essentially, which is needed, to say the least. So with that, I think that's pretty much it for the deck list. I think in the future, if I want to play this deck again, I'd probably switch one of these proto forms out for an X antibody, because there were definitely times where like I could have swung with the Garuda and then do that. It doesn't really matter that much, but it does matter a little, because if you go into stuff like the Oriumon and you swing with that, you can then Digivolve into that for free, do the D-Digivolve 2, and then you're checking security, delete a guy. So that does matter sometimes. I did go into Oriumon a lot more than I expected to throughout the tournament, to be honest. So kind of glad that I had that. But I wish I had 1 X antibody and 2 proto forms, I think. Already talked about the Garudamon stuff. I think that's pretty much it for the deck list. I don't think there isn't really much like to explore with this deck now. I think this is at a point where the deck is just doing what it is, and most notably, it'll probably get hit in the next ban list with the Growlmon X. You could probably still play it if the Growl X isn't a thing, but it does slow you down because you do want to get the memory gain as much as possible. So yeah, I think this deck is pretty much fine. So let's talk about the matchups now. They're not drilled into my head, so I'm going to quickly go on twitter.com and talk about the list, the matches in more detail. So here we are. So let's go to the full screen. Pow! Hello, it's me. So let's talk about the matchups that I had going into the tournament. Well, during the tournament. So my first round was against Sukuyamon, I believe. That was my first win of the day. 2-0. I'm looking at my notes here from Twitter. Thanks, Twitter. So essentially what happened with this game was that my opponent, I wasn't too sure if she was new, but there was just like some small issues that she was doing. Like unfortunately she was sick, which she was telling me, which I felt really bad for, because I was like, oh shit, like I'm sorry that you're sick and you're being forced to play 8 rounds of Digimon. Not the greatest, but there was like some things that she was doing where like she would scramble or try to scramble after she drew the card, or she would mem boost before hatching an egg, so she couldn't hatch an egg. Small things like that. So, but she almost actually beat me game 1, weirdly, because for some reason she was playing the Valderon, which I found out like in security later on, but she was playing the Bolt Bow, I think it was. Like, if I quickly go into DCGO, it was like Bolt Bow, this guy. And this guy is really annoying for my deck, because the DGO 3 is quite annoying, and then everything getting 6k DP is also very annoying, because essentially that just means that I can't, you know, do Gil Rush, I can't play this to search, I can't do a lot of these things, and having this constantly was not great. And also trashing the top security card is not great, but I think she checked security one time while I had Oriumon up, and then I deleted the lowest DP, which was the Bolt Bout. So just some small issues from her side, I think. But I think in game 2, she just missed like key cards. I think she was complaining about like not having a 4, I believe. I think. I could be wrong. But yeah, so that round ended and that I got 1-0. Round 2 was against CS Omni, so oh boy, yeah. So my main matchup throughout the whole tournament was against Omnimon, and specifically CS Omni, right? Like, it is probably going to be probably the best deck in format going into next season, when we get the ban list in what, like 10 days, I think it is now? 10 days until we get the ban list. So yeah, not looking forward to that. But is what it is. But I actually ended up managing to win against this one. I believe game 1 I pretty much had everything that I needed to get, like the OTK thing, but because I missed one swing earlier, I wasn't able to OTK, and because of that I lost game 1. Game 2 was essentially me finding the pieces and finding the swings that I need to then go for game. And then I believe game 3 was something like, I can't remember if this was, I think this must have been the game where I played 2 Medieval Galamon and go like, try and do something, you won't be able to do something, and it worked in the end, thankfully. So went up for 2-0. Then I played against Machine Dramon, and this was my first time actually playing against Machine Dramon, the new one from EX9. Haven't experienced that before, but my god, what a deck that is. My opponent was a viewer of the channel, which is always lovely, so had a great time with him and doing the deck and playing the game, stuff like that. So game 1, he wasn't able to find a Machine Dramon, I believe. I think that's what he was saying. So I was able to get game 1 done. Game 2, however, was a completely different deal. I think I swung into security and hit like a ultimate connection, I think it is. I can't remember. Is that Supreme Connection maybe. Let's bring up DCGO. Come on, DCGO times. Is it Supreme Connection? Yeah. From like 2 checks, I think, or 1 check. No, I think it was 1 check, and he played 1 out, and because of that, he was able to just play out Machine Dramon for essentially like, I think it's free, with his assembly and Supreme Connection and cost. He was also playing like Ultimate Connection, I believe it is, which is this option, which when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh god, I gotta be careful about how I swing into security now, because I can't let him gain 2 memory for free, because that'd be really bad. But I didn't find them in security, thankfully. So game 2, he found his Machine Dramon, and I set him up pretty much, and he was essentially able to, I don't even know what this deck did, but he was just able to go for like 3 checks with Machine Dramon, unsuspend by deleting himself, but it doesn't matter because he could protect himself, and then swinging again for game. It was like, oh boy, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting how fast it was, I think. It was like turn 3 or something like that, he was prepared, so that was quite worrying. And then game 3, I had almost got the OTK, but I couldn't get the final memory, I believe it was, to essentially, you know, go into Oryuken and go for game. However, I was able to keep the board. I think he went into the Machine Dramon, but for the play cost of 6, I think it was the assembly cost one. So he wasn't able to, I think he had like Blitz from Attack of the Heavy Mobile, I think it's called. And we had to swing and stuff like that, but as he had a Digimon on board, I had Scramble in play, so I just returned the Alphamon or Yuken, which I was trying to search for, and then DNA'd into that, got rid of his Machine Dramon, and then swung for game, essentially. So that was decent from me, and from what I've checked, he only lost 1 game during Swiss, and it was against me. So I think when I look at the matchups and everything, I think I had a pretty hard route to the top, because I think like everyone, I think like majority of people, I feel like 3 people ended up making top 16 from my matchups, which fair enough. I just couldn't do the job, so that's unfortunate, but is what it is. I've already beaten myself up enough about that, so we continue. Round 4 was against Omnimon, and this was one that I did lose. Omnimon's such a crazy deck. Like, I come to hate Imperial, because Imperial has this really annoying card called Davis and Ken. This card right here, I bloody hate it. And what have they done to Omnimon but given them the Davis and Ken, but also sets them to free. You don't have to return it, I don't think. And then you also enable all your CS guys. Oh, and you also gain DP. Oh, I forgot. How can I forget about the DP gain as well? Like, this card, Nokia, is absurd. I don't know what's wrong with the image quality. Maybe it's just something I have to update on my end. But Nokia is an insane bloody card. Ban Davis again and bring Machetta, please. Surely. No, I can't get banned. It's not going to get banned, right? How you doing, man? You doing alright, by the way? No, it won't get hit. I think it's too late. This card needs to get hit. If we're gonna ban stuff from Gallant, Sakuya, and Royal Knights, this card's gotta go. I'll take Davis and Ken. I want to accept this card. So yeah, that deck is insanely consistent. Has way to play Tamers for cheap, and just essentially gets to do Omnimon every turn if they want to. So for round 4, game 1 I had the combo, so I was able to go into Oryuken, Trash, all this kind of stuff, and get away with it essentially. So yay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, with game 1, I bricked hard. Like throughout game 4, or round 4, I bricked super hard. So I think like my opening hands were like 2 Phoenix, a Garuda, like a medieval Gallant, and like 1 search, but the search didn't get me anything. So I think at some point I just ended up hard playing medieval Gallantmon, and then I just stood on that for the longest time while he was struggling, because he also bricked. And I believe this opponent also got top 16. I think it's like, what's his name? I can check right now. It's like Digimon. It's from Sons of Yggdrasil. Good player. Let me see if I can find. I think he got top 8, top 4, which good for him. Let me just check before I'm just chatting out my arse. There we go. Match history. Digimon Emperador. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Digimon Emperor. So yeah, we both like bricked game 1, which fine, I guess. Game 2 was kind of like a grindish game. Oh, there's also another thing to point out. We both got a time extension because they wanted to deck check us before the round started, even though we already like shuffled and everything. So we what was it? We had to wait like 10 minutes essentially to get our deck checked. I got told that my sleeves were see-through, which I don't know how. Like they're dark ultra, not ultra pro, dark dragon shields, so you can barely see through them. Like I'm looking through them at the light in my room, I can't see through them, but apparently the judges could see through them. So I had to change them out, which annoyed me. So yeah. Anyways, go back to the rounds. So game 2 was a bit of a grind game. I think we both bricked again, and I think I was like 1 turn away from winning, but I couldn't keep the field, unfortunately. So he just was able to clear me and just get the win essentially. And then round 3, it was already close to time. I looked at my hand and I think it was something like 3 Garuda Rexes, Proto Form, and like a Gravity Crush or something like that. And so I was just like, well, I guess I'll just do nothing then. And yeah, time was about to be called from our time extension, and I conceded because I was just like, well, I can't do anything. So that was unfortunate going into round 4. So round 5 was against Tsukuyamon again, and this was another win from me. At this point, I'm looking through my Twitter. My Twitter is just saying like, I can just tell that I was in the zone, but like I was just like not saying anything throughout the games. I believe round 5 was also against a viewer. Apologies that I don't remember your name. I have it on here. Maya the Noob, I don't know. I think it might have been a viewer. Could we get mixed up with another one here? Apologies. But essentially it boiled down to who was able to control the game. And, well, I was able to go into Alpha 1 or you can. Then he went into Valderom, if I can spell Valderom, in game 2, and then I went into Alpha Oryuken on game 3. And yeah, it was a weird game because I think he was struggling with bricking. I can't remember if he had like a lot of search. I think he had like a lot of search going into game 2, but game 1 and 3 he definitely did suffer, unfortunately, which sucks. Like it just sucks. So I was able to take advantage of that and go up by 4-1. Then round 6 was against Growlmon, which is I can't remember which version he was playing exactly. It was playing like the deletion guy to get sec +1. I can't remember exactly if he was like playing like the Titamon stuff or what exact version he was playing, but he was playing some big guys essentially. So game 1 I pretty much had everything and he was struggling. I think he made a misplay, which was like he gained memory and then he deleted my guy, which then gained memory, which passed turn. So he kind of like made a couple of mistakes during the game, I'd say. Then in game 2, he just had bloody everything. Like, couldn't do anything about that. And then game 3, I think, like, I was able to establish a board by just, like, going into small little things. And then he promoted and went into Medieval Gallantmon on his turn, I think suspending his guys, mainly. So, essentially, what I was able to do was just play my own Medieval Gallantmon for free, essentially, because he gave me 7 memory. Like, he didn't give me like only 4 memory, it was like 6 memory, I believe it was. So I was just able to answer with my own Medieval Gallant, control the game that way, and I ended up winning round 6, leaving me at 5-1. And at this point, I must admit, I was excited because I was like, I just need to get 1 win, and I think I'm in, right? I just need 1 more win, and I think I posted on Twitter. No, it was not. It was after the next game. But at this point, I think I was like rank 10, 8, maybe, or something like that. So I was like, okay, I'm doing good, I think. I think. So then round 7 happened, and I got against Omnimon, and I didn't want to play against another Omnimon because I was like, if they have everything, they have everything, and you can't do anything about it, essentially. And this guy, if I remember correctly, it was Morty, who also made top 16. Great guy, lovely guy. Said it was like his 2nd event, and I'm glad that he did super well at the event. Great guy, good to talk to, and all that. And yeah, game 1 was a bit of a slog fest, I would say, because I was just kind of like trying to do the math to find the Alphamon or Yuken, because if I had the Alphamon or Yuken, I would win game 1 essentially. But I made a mistake, so I did my ordering wrong, so I could have gained memory with my Grav Crush I think I had in hand at the time, but I decided not to do it because I was like, well, the chances of finding the Alphamon or Yuken Ace is low. So I did all the on deletions from the Phoenix effects. I still went on with the effects. I was like, if I apply pressure, it's probably better than doing nothing. Big mistake, as it turns out. So then I did all the stuff, and then I'd go into the Gil. I then discard a card, draw 2. Of course, the Alphamon or Yuken is in the 2 that I draw, which is unfortunate. So I was essentially just like 1-2 cards away from winning that game. But as I was like, I'm not going to risk it, because if I risk it, I just confirm lose the game. I lose the game anyway. So that was my bad. Probably should have just forced it and just went on with it, because, you know, I had pretty decent draws going in. So unfortunate. And then I think game 2 was essentially him just blowing me up completely. I think he went into like 2 Alter S's, I think, and then just did the standard stuff of like swing, trash, unsuspend, pop, do it again, and that deck is insane. Like, I know it takes some time to set up, but it doesn't even take time to set up. Like, it's so consistent. Yeah, too good. Too good, I would say. And then so I lost that round, so I was 5-2, so I was kind of like, am I going to be in top 16 at this point? And I believe I was dead on 16th place, so I needed to win my next game. And what was my next game? Omnimon. This game, I don't feel great about, if I'm being honest, because I feel like my opponent did things like out of order, and he still did the effects, and I probably should have called him out on it. I think I was just like too like flabbergasted, because I think I don't remember the games very well for this one, but I think game 1, he needed like a tamer essentially to be checked in security just to get his Agumon, the Warp Agumon, to be triggered, which he got from my check, and then he got like 2 more of the tire mats throughout the game, so he had like 3 at one point, and just was able to go off on game 1, and then game 2, I think I bricked pretty hard or something like that, and then I lost round 8, and because of that, I was out of the top 16. But I still made top 32. 31 exact, actually, which I'm still happy about, especially as I have only practiced the deck like for, I won't even say a week. I know I said a week before, but probably like less than a week. I went to one locals with it. I did another local, oh no, I did 2 locals, one on the Monday, one on the Tuesday, and did some DCGO testing essentially. So with the testing that I did, I was very happy with my results with PhoenixMon. At the time, obviously, you're a bit bitter because you're like, oh boy, like, I could have got top 16, you know, or could have been top 8 in going into Swiss, but is what it is, essentially. So yeah, that is how the tournament went. I ended up not going to the side events that happened the next day because I kind of just wanted to relax, like just wanted to hang out with my mates throughout the night, and then also just wanted to lay in essentially because Porto was extremely hot, but it wasn't bad. Like the UK currently at the moment is awful for the heat, but Porto was nice. Porto was lovely, and I will say, like, from everyone that I met, all the fans that I met, all the people that I know from Twitter, you know, all that kind of stuff, all absolutely lovely people. Would love to go to a bar with them and drink and talk about stuff. Like, great people, I would say. Bit unfortunate that I couldn't meet some people, obviously. But some of us were on top tables for like 6 games in a row with Ulfor, so can't disturb the goat, can't disturb the goat. But yeah, good times all around. I would go back in a heartbeat, especially if they have another regional going on. And Porto itself is just beautiful. Like, there's a lot of construction going on in the center, but beautiful place, beautiful, warm people, I would say. Very welcoming, I would say. But yeah, that is my tournament recap. I'm gonna do a video on it as well because I know people don't tend to watch these live streams that often because I don't plan these out very well. So I'll do a video on this. It should be out on Monday. It should be out on Monday. It will be out on Monday, I should say. So that should be good. Just probably going over what I've said here, just in a more polished form, I would say. And yeah, videos are a big thing at the moment because I'm trying to, for videos, just do as much as I can for videos because I understand that previously I have been slacking in videos sometimes. Like, there's been times where I've gone like a month or so without just posting something. Like I've done a video for the past 3 weeks in this live stream, and then my previous video was like 2 months ago. Like, I'm trying to get more content out for you guys. Trying to find some stuff that's interesting at least, which is why I did the version 4 stuff, because I thought the version 4 stuff was quite interesting. Even though I guess most people didn't really want to watch that kind of stuff, which is fine. You learn. So yeah, that was the Porto Regionals. Content for the channel. Like I said, the plan for the content at the moment for the channel is next video is going to be the Porto recap. Next video is going to be based on prizing, which I'll go over a little bit on this stream as well, why not? And then next video, maybe something to do with BT22. Just depends on what happens. Actually, no, I guess at that time, the ban list will be out. So maybe a ban list reaction video will come out before that. But I'm working on a bunch of stuff, essentially, while also trying to do streams and stuff like that for you guys. So thank you all a lot for your support, because I really do appreciate it on the channel, because the ban list video did really well, and the feedback I'm getting on all my videos, my latest ones, has been pretty good. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. So now I want to talk about some new cards, because there's been something that has been announced and it is important to me because it is one of my favorite Digimon, which is obviously the Dark Knight stuff. For those that don't know, it's looking like EX10 is going to feature some Dark Knight stuff, and we got a card for it. Hey man, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, Ryuzaki. Hope you enjoy your stay here, man. Had a blast. It was a pleasure to meet you, Rich and Joe. Yeah, it was great to see you as well, man. Great to see you again, my brother. Right. So let's go over. All right, I've got to try and find a way to not scuff this completely. Let's hold on. All right. Yeah, I heard actually. I think yeah, Rich said that he got like top 4 and then he like wanted to sell his restaurant straight away, which, I mean, fair play to him. Yeah, I want to talk about some new cards because I'm actually interested in a few of these, and I also just want to keep this stream quite short because I don't really want to play any games. Like, there isn't really anything to show off at the moment, so when the time comes, it'll come. But yeah, I want to talk about some new cards. So let's go. Wow, I can change stuff sometimes. All right, so there are kind of a few things that I actually want to talk about in the card stuff. So for those that don't know, I'm a huge fan of Bagra Army, and I'm also a huge fan of Dark Knight. I've been waiting for Dark Knight support for a very long time, and I want to give you my thoughts on it before I make a video on it. I know there's still stuff being revealed, I know things can change, but just thought I'd give you my feedback. Actually, there's some Myotis Bond stuff in here as well, which I want to talk about as well. Mega hype for the Dark Masters. Yeah, I think that'd be actually a really good deck. This option card is insane. Like, when I think I was in Burger King in Porto when this card got announced, I was just like, there's no way. There's no way this card is real. But I was also happy to see Ryoma because I love playing the rival hunters. And this card's quite nice, gives you Alliance, so happy for that. So, right, let's talk about Bagra Army. So, for those that don't know, Bagra Army, kind of a bad deck, but it's not like a bad deck because Yarit lad. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said it like that. How you doing, Jambo? You doing good? What was I saying? Yeah. Bagra Army, bad deck, but it's a bad deck in a way that, like, it just doesn't function well, and it has had like random top, like, was it like NA like regionals? It got like top 64 or something like that, which was insane for the deck. So I want to talk about the cards real quick, and also talk about a bunch of stuff. So Choo Choo, guess I'll just read them all off. Start your main phase, you may place one Digimon card from hand or trash, Bagra Army underneath one of your tamers, then save. So this is just nice, but the problem with like the Choo Choos is they all cost 4 cost, and as searchers, it kind of sucks to say the least, because you kind of want a 3 cost searcher. Obviously in this card it doesn't matter as much because it's start a main phase, but for the old one, not so good. But this is just like a combo card essentially, and the Inherit is actually interesting as well, because before it was when this card would get trashed, you gain a memory. Now it's draw a card, which is somewhat better. It has its merit because there isn't much draw in the deck in the first place. So having access to a draw 1 inheritable is pretty nice, as it turns out. Then there's the Damimon, put it underneath, draw a card, on deletion, play a Twari, a Twarmon, and then save, and then you get to go into this guy, which is essentially just a free swing, which has 4 keywords for some reason, and a draw 1. So you get to draw 1, rush, collision, blocker, retaliation, and then just go for a swing. And when I say like Bagra Army needs a bit more aggression, this is a card that you definitely need in the deck. Will it be consistent? I don't know, but it's nice to have an additional swing, especially when previously, in previous versions, I was running the Arrecidramon. This one, so the original one, so it has Rush, which does matter in the deck sometimes. So it's good that we're able to essentially avoid playing this one now, but you probably still play because of the when attacking effect, to be honest. But yeah, like the stuff they've been revealing for Bagra on the low level has been all right. There's one thing that still annoys me about it, and it's the Soundbird. This guy. This card is the best card that the deck has access to. But unfortunately, it doesn't have Bagra Army, so you can't really use it that well. Which is unfortunate, because this one is just a nice cycle, draw 1 for the deck. But yeah, not great, not great. Coping for good Blackwall Grey. Blackwall Grey seems to be kind of interesting, from what I've read so far. So yeah, so that's the lower line stuff, but the higher end line I think is kind of interesting. So we haven't seen much of it yet. Bandai Bagra Soundbird when? I don't know. I don't know, man. I've tried talking to Bandai. He'll probably be using the guy. Yeah, probably. So the Tacti one's very interesting. Same like the Bagra and the Darkness Bagra, which I think is kind of insane. So just being able to choose one of your opponent's Digimon, delete the chosen Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon was high or lower. Decent effect. Whenever your Bagra Army Digimon will leave the battle area by effects, trashing any 2 sources, it don't leave. Yippee. Just having a sticky guy, and also just a double deletion. Pretty nice. And the good thing about this card is that you can play this out for considerably cheaper with the old Uemano. Because, if I remember correctly, it's like when you would play a guy, so you can do this, reduce it by 6, and then you could also go into this by paying the Digicross cost as well. So for about 2 cost, I believe, you get to play a guy that deletes 2 guys, and then it doesn't leave, essentially, which is pretty good. Same with like Bagramon. I'm not too sure if this one's better. It might be better. You may place one of your opponent's Digimon as their bottom Digimon's bottom Digievolution card, or any under sources. What the hell happened there? Can I get Numemon support? Please, I want Numemon. I love Nume. And then one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers Digivolve or effects placed under them, trash any 2 sources, trash the top security card. This is very similar to the old one, actually. But this one's going to be better because it has the Digicross, which is the most important thing about the card, to be honest. If it has Digicross, you can reduce the cost by more, which is very important for the deck. But the main one I want to talk about is Darkness Bagramon for a few reasons. So this is the SR of the deck. I think the secret's going towards the Atmon deck, I believe it is. But this is just a broken card. I think, like, in general, you lost me sweeping everyone with my Numemon control in day 2, even Rich was surprised. Oh, really? That's interesting. Numemon control. Sounds kind of an interesting list. I don't know how you would do that, but I respect it. You choose one card from your opponent's hand, place it as a bottom Digievolution card, then by placing 3 Bag of Trash from your trash as top Digievolution cards, delete one of their Digimon or Tamers with cards underneath it. please get rid of a tamer. Please get rid of a Digimon. Do all that kind of stuff. And then the best part about it is that it has the all turns effect. Gain all the all turns effect of all level 6 Bagger Army trait Digimon cards in its Digivolution. So it can have the protection from the Tactimon. It can also trash security cards with the Bagger. But not even just that. Like, we have loads more Bagger Army. So we have stuff like, I don't even realize this is a Bagger Army. Huh? Okay, we'll get to that in a sec, I guess. Darkness Bagger looks like a lot of bullshit, not gonna lie. Good, I want it to be bullshit. But you have old Tactimon. Oh no, these don't have all turns. So maybe it doesn't matter. I forgot that it has to be all turns effects. So maybe it's not. Oh, this one has the all turns effects, so you can have double Bagramon trash effects if you want. That might be funny. But it has to be level 6s, so I think it's just the old Bagramon. Right? Because you have Tacti, Lilith, Blastmon. Blastmon doesn't do it. Is this man cooking EX10 Bagra? Damn right I'm cooking EX10 Bagra. How you doing, lad? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I find this art super weird. Oh, isn't this like Zed as well? Like Zed Millennium. I don't know Digimon very well, apologies. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So yeah, we have 2 of the Bagger Army stuff. But we just need the other one, which is Lilith, which probably going to be in the list somewhere. I think people are saying that's going to be in the list. Let me just check real quick. I saw like a discussion thing that was talking about it, I think, somewhere in my Discord. Oh no, there won't be one. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll get it in like BT23 or something like that. But having access to protection and trash security, pretty good, I would say. But the thing that gets me most excited about this is the fact that it mentions Digicross Dark Knightmon. Now, look, right? I've been waiting to play my baby, right? I've been waiting. There probably will be more Bagger cards. They've revealed one secret, but there's another secret that got revealed at, I think, Gen Con or something like that. So I think it's for the app stuff. But yeah, if I can get Dark Knight stuff, I would be very happy. Because the last wave of support, without being rude, was shite. It was shite. Yeah, Appmon stuff. I think it's... let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it was like news reveals from like Discords or something like that. Let me just check real quick for you. It just reveals so many cards, it's unbelievable. There it is. It's Deusmon. Yeah, so it's the Appmon secret again. Heyo, what is that donate card? Oh, on the stream, I forgot. Yeah, no. But let me see if I can. I can't show it. Whatever. Deusmon is the secret, essentially, which is fine. Which I'll take. Whatever. It doesn't bother me because I'm probably not going to buy much of this set in the first place. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I think they're confirming it because they have you and Nene in a tamer on their own. and it does mention Twilight, which is important. And I will say, this tamer sucks ass. This tamer just is so bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, this is a worse Kirihara Nene. Like, this is just a bad card. Like, I looked at it, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's okay. And then I read more and more about this card. I was just like, wait, this card does absolutely nothing for this deck. The draw one's nice, I'll give you that, but you don't gain memory. You don't gain, like, memory if you play a Dark Knight or a Bagra or anything like that. It's just recycle and draw a card. It sucks. And the worst part about Twilight is that they don't have good tamers. They have a blocker one, which is outdated. They have a one that does from trash, which is good, but slow, because it doesn't do anything other than gain a memory and digicross from trash. And this one could have been good. I think I was saying to my mate, who also plays Dark Knight, that if we do get a new Dark Knight tamer, we need something like a like, if you play a Dark Knight, gain a memory, draw a card, right? Because the problem with Dark Knight is that it costs 4 to go into. If you gain a memory from the tamer, it makes it better overall, I think. Would you go to the Italian and Spanish regionals in November? I'm not too sure. It depends on the format. If the format becomes Omnimon, I will probably sit out, if I'm being honest. And in October, or late October, early November, Riftbound comes out, and I will be playing Riftbound as much as I can. Yeah, this card doesn't convince me either. Would have loved to see another way to gain memory with this tamer. It's so frequent to play a free, slam a Dark Knight and just pass without doing anything. Also want Dark Knight with actual removal. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if this card said, like, start your, like, not start your main phase, like, all turns, when you would play a card with Dark Knight Mon in text, you could suspend this tamer, gain a memory, draw a card, you know? So your Dark Knight becomes free cost, so you don't pass turn. Just small things like that would have mattered so much more for a Dark Knight. But unfortunately, we can't get that. And the problem with the current Dark Knights is that they are actually decent. Like, I would say, like, a lot of the Dark Knights that they have right now, like, this one deletes a tamer. Huge, right? Then this one deletes a 5 cost and digivolves. Like, they're pretty decent effects. The problem is that you pass turn with them. And unfortunately, in this current day and age, with that same, like, memory gain, like, you can do Groundmon loop, you can do, like, CS, you can do a lot of these things. But unfortunately, it's just not enough. So, yeah, I just hope there's a way to play it for cheaper. Dark Knight has always been about getting more bodies on the field. Don't you think it's too broken giving him control? What is the deletion effects? No, I don't. When I play the deck, right, I feel like what I get for playing 4 memory is not good, and it's not value whatsoever, unfortunately. If you're paying 4 memory for anything, right, you need it to do something, right? And the only other card in the game that you play for a high amount of memory, which is worth it, is Medieval Gallantmon, because Medieval Gallantmon not only controls the field when you play it, but it also controls the game until they remove the card, right? Which is important. So, yeah, I mean, it's important to have, like, some sort of interaction on your opponent's turn. And Dark Knight doesn't do that. It has a all turns effect that you get to play a guy, but the playing a guy doesn't really do much. Let's just be honest. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, I think this set, EX10, is looking like a decent set. my problem... Actually, no. Before I even talk about the set in general, we've got to talk about Beelzemon Ace. Because Beelzemon Ace, unironically, is Dark Knight support. Just in a bike form instead of a knight. Trash top 2 cards from your deck. Delete one of your opponent's play cost 6 or lower. For every 10 cards, add 3 to the play cost maximum. And then... On play when Digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, by returning 2 of your non-Digimon Digi-Eggs from your trash to the top of the deck, Digivolve 2. Like, this is a really good card. Like, a really, really good card. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the name of Dark Knight, which is unfortunate. But this card is really good. Just because you're able to control the field, Digivolve 2 is super strong in this format. But also be able to delete a guy as well in the same Wind Digivolving effect. Pretty good ace option for Dark Knight. Oh, and I also want to talk about this card. Digimon Emperor. I don't know what they were thinking with this card. I really don't. Like, what are they thinking? 5 cost, White Tamer. So, one of my other favorite decks, Eosmon, right? So when I saw this card, I was like, oh shit, we're going to get Eosmon support. Turns out no. Turns out no. No, what's happened there? What's happened here? I'm still live, right? I'm still live, right? Oh, I am. Okay. For some reason, my OBS is saying that I'm not live. Okay. This card was so close to being good in Eosmon, but they had to make it 5 cost. Emperor feels like a flavor bait for DM Chimera. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Every 2 colors your opponent's Digimon and Tamers have, gain a memory. Cool, you're gaining 1 memory. What a huge bonus. On play, delete one of your opponent's play cost 5 or lower Digimon. Then by returning 1 Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of the deck, from your hand or trash, and without paying the memory cost, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with the same color as the card as the effect returned. This card is so close to being good for Eosmon, but you just can't play it because you don't have... It's not 4 cost, first of all, so you can't play for free. The deletion effect is really good. Like, really, really good. And if you could play this for free in Eosmon, you're off to a winner, right? But unfortunately, the return effect is so mediocre that it's just not worth playing, in my opinion. And unless you're playing some sort of rainbow deck, which there's only like 1 deck that does that, this card sucks. It sucks. So yeah. Very unfortunate. Right, so I think that's all I want to talk about in this set. I mean, the EX10 pyramid stuff seems pretty good, is what I'll say. We haven't seen the 3 or the 4 yet, but the 5... I don't want to say anything, but this card's kind of broken. Like, I think it is, genuinely, for the deck. I think people are sleeping on this card, genuinely. Because they just look and go like, oh, it's Bowser from fucking Mario. Just like different coat of color. But this card's insane. On play, when dissolving or attacking, trash any one source, gain collision, piercing, and 3k DP until your opponent's turn ends. So not only do you have better protection when you go to your pyramid stack, but you also gain collision, piercing, and like the 3k DP matters so much, genuinely, because people were playing the Gogamon stuff, I believe it was, the Galga. Like Galga? No, wrong Galga. It's the rock guy. I can't remember. It's from set 5, right? Jesus. Where is he? Okay, it's not from set 5. I'm chatting out my arse. Set 6? Surely it's not set 6. What set is it from? Set 4? Yeah, it is. Gogmamon? Gogmamon. I don't know. Just because they need to get the DP and trash sources, right? This card does that, gains you multiple effects. And yeah, I think people are sleeping this card. The Digimon one is actually also very important for this strategy as well. The Pyramidimon, I think, has been a bit more divisive. But I think this card is still pretty decent. It's not obviously going to be your main one. You're still going to be playing the old EX8 Chimera, Pyramidimon. But I think this one's still decent. I think what this shows is that it's trying to set up for something in the future, which is cost reduction into deletion, or mass deletion. So you get to, when you Digivolve, put 3 underneath. Decent, right? Decent effect. And then when Digivolving, trash 3, up to 3, and then for one Digimon on their side of the field, gets their play cost reduced by 2 for each card trash. So this is very similar to the Tankdramon, where you get to, also Digivolve, funny enough, get to reduce everything by 3 and then delete a play cost 4 or less, which is decent. But you also get to combo this with a card. Jesus, what's the card called? I forgot what the card's called. It's the BT14 guy. Brigade. Because this one allows you to delete up to total 7 play cost. So this in combination with the tank just means you get like a board wipe. Digipolice, good times. Yeah, tell me, man. I love Digipolice. Love Digipolice. I took it to my Evolution Cup last year and I got top 4 with it, which I was happy with. I was definitely happy with. Especially when I was facing like a bunch of like Numemon. Like this card combination was the bane of Numemon. Like I think my tournament was like 5 matches, and the combination of this and the Tankdramon just wiped all the fields, and it was great. So I have very good fondness of good old Digipolice. I wish they would get more support. But yeah, I think what this is essentially saying is that obviously you can do the combo, Digivolve, then delete a 3 cost or 4 cost, inheritable, stuff like that. But I think this is laying up for the level 7, which I think is going to get revealed tonight probably, which should be exciting, I think. I don't know what you can do with a level 7 in this deck though. That's my issue, because unless it's just like put everything underneath it and then you trash like 5 to trash the security or something like that. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. What I will say though is probably the biggest miss for me in this set, and it hurts me because I love this deck, is the Myotismon stuff. Yeah, this one hurts because I wanted to play Myotismon a lot. Like I love Myotismon as a design. However, the support it's been getting is dog. Like it's bad. Like this trashing, deleting a guy, this de-digivolving one, like this is awful for the deck. And the reason being is because this deck needs consistency, not delete a guy, you know? This Myotismon's actually not that bad, I don't think. You can delete another guy, reduce the play cost by 4, and then it gains block or retaliation. So it's a cheaper, what is it, Myotismon Ace. You do not get to play the Tamer though, which is the biggest problem with the card. However, you do get the access to, what's it called, the Myotismon X. It's here somewhere, I know it is. There it is. Which is a good card, which allows you to delete level 4 or lower, and then play a Myotismon for free when it gets deleted, essentially. Different game plan, obviously, but still pretty nice. But yeah, this support is not great, but it depends on what the other support is going, because this, I think we're probably going to get another Yukio, I think. So we have to wait and see, and probably like another Mallow Myotismon. So fingers crossed those cards are okay in the set when they do get revealed. Other than that, I think that's all I have to discuss really about this set. I think the set's looking pretty decent. I think there's a lot of fun things going on with this set. Oh my god, there's Witch Elney support? Holy shit. Wait, hold on. I can't believe this is getting support. Witch Elney, by the way, is like such a joke archetype because it has nothing in it. But you know what it does have? Medieval Gallimon. This archetype, or whatever it is, sucks so bad. But for some reason, they just have Medieval Gallimon. But I don't know what they're trying to do with this one. Like, it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't good. That's weird. I didn't ever notice this. Like, why? I actually appreciate it, but why is this card text all the way at the bottom? Whereas, like, other card text, like this one, is like up here. Alright, Bandai. But yes, that is pretty much everything that I want to discuss today. So, discussed my top 32 run at Porto Regionals, which a bit disappointed about, but is what it is essentially. Talked about that, talked about stuff in Sinister, what's it called again? Sinister Order, is it called? Sinister Order. And hoping that we get some cool stuff. We probably won't from this point on, but who knows? Yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. It's going to be a short stream, like I mentioned before, because still kind of like resting and want to work on a video talking about the Porto Regionals on Monday, essentially. So just a small stream tonight, guys, but I just want to say thank you all for coming out, hanging out, checking on the stream. I really do appreciate you all, genuinely. If anyone's from Porto, the people that I've met from Porto Regionals and you're watching, lovely to play against all of you. Great to hang out with you guys and just share a moment with all of you, I guess. So yeah, thank you all for watching the stream. I know it's a short one, but gotta work on the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next stream slash... Oh, I just realized, Kuba, you're the one that played Machine, right? I believe it is, right? Yeah, I think it was, right? I checked Discord that it said you posted your record, and I was the only one that won against you, that you lost to, and I was like, yes, it was me. I did something. It's a pleasure playing against you, man. Genuinely, great vibes, great vibes. Yeah. So I'm gonna come off now, guys. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next video, probably on Monday. Bye-bye!